Hello, everybody. This is Jim, co-host of Two Guys, One Coup. Hope everybody had a good weekend. As you can see, it is One Guy, One Coup today, as it will be on Wednesday, as my podcast partner, Dale, has taken a vacation, a much-deserved vacation with his lovely wife, as they take the week and enjoy and kind of relax and rejuvenate and get back into it. Today's show, I will be reviewing the debate. I know there's been plenty of time between now and then that there other people have given their opinions on the debates. I'm going to give mine as well. Kind of show some things about where the lies came from, especially from President Biden. I mean, I know not every debate there, every candidate will say some things that, you can say it was true or false or however you want to do it. But there's some actual facts that we need to present that Biden put out there. Also, we'll be going over what the Pentagon deems as a national security risk. Wait till you hear that. And Elizabeth Warren has basically come out and said it. So we'll review that and so much more on Two Guys, One Coup.
Welcome to the Two Guys, One Coup podcast with Dale and Jim, where the truth matters and progressives' feelings don't. We bring you the facts from the perspective of two average, everyday guys who will never apologize for being America first, for adhering to our great Constitution, and for saluting the flag that our brothers and sisters have fought and died for. And now, here's Dale and Jim.
Well, it's Jim, as I said in the intro. Dale is on vacation. And folks, for those of you who follow us on Two Guys, One Coup, have been with us since the beginning, how nervous do you think Dale is right now? My guess is he's, don't screw it up. Don't screw it up. Well, Dale, I'm going to try to do you proud. I'm going to do the best to my abilities. And as I control everything today, so we'll move on in that direction. Please, as you see that we are Two Guys, One Coup, and we are on the Patriots Prayer Podcast Network. So it is a new network that we have started, and we have a number of personalities on there. So I want to go over, first of all, and introduce some of those personalities and kind of let everybody know how to go find it. But you can find us on the patriotsprayer.com. You can always do that. And then there's hosts and then shows, and it gives you the times and everything for the shows. But we have the Patriots Prayer Podcast, which is Eddie Smith and the Maurice, the Native American. They're the ones that kind of started this. So it's kind of cool that they put this together. They have worked hard to present this and get the personalities that match what they want for the show. So it's very good. Well, they record, they go live Monday and Wednesday, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard. So that would be 6 p.m. Pacific time. We have the Conservative Corner with Seth Eisenberg. He does his show Sunday at 10 p.m. Eastern Time, 7 p.m. Pacific. He did his first show on Sunday, did a very good job, and we're looking forward to seeing more shows from him. We also have Alexander 360, hosted by Alexander Levin on Tuesdays, 9 p.m. Eastern Time. We have the Based Mother, Elena Barbera. Dale and I were on her show. She was kind enough to have us come on. Really great show. And matter of fact, we are going to have her on a week from Wednesday. She's going to come on live for us. We're going to do an interview to discuss her documentary. But her show is Tuesday, 12 p.m. Eastern Time, and Friday, 9 p.m. Eastern Time. And then, of course, the Raising Cain show with Nate Cain. That is on Thursday at 9 p.m. Eastern. We do have others. There will be more. But right now, we're just kind of move forward with those and watch them. And please pay attention to the Patriots Prayer Podcast Network. Looking forward to it and watching us grow. Okay, so the debate, folks. Wow. I want to first talk about the hosts of the show, Dana Bash and Jake Tapper. I am surprised to say that they did pretty good. I thought they did well. I know some people may have some other opinions about it, but I thought they did okay. They weren't fantastic. You could tell they you could just see in their faces they just did not like it when they had to ask President Trump questions. So, but I thought they did an okay job. I was expecting them to go way left and really help support Joe Biden, which they did. They in some instances they didn't really have him, explain further. But as you saw how the debate was going, it was just, we got to get this over with because it looked bad. So now let's talk about the candidates, which is the most important one. And we'll talk about Joe Biden first. Yes, I laugh a little bit because, guys, I don't know what you saw I saw a very, very delicate individual. He was tired. You could tell by the way he answered. He was soft. And his movements were slow when he went to cough and everything. It's almost looked like it was in slow motion. He's definitely a sick man. Okay, we know that, and we have to blame his wife and his administration for putting the sick man up there. But how unimpressed were you about his performance, considering he had spent about a week at Camp David preparing for this debate, preparing for it? Now, I believe preparing for the debate they were injecting him with whatever the drugs they inject in him before he goes out for big events where he has to be on and everything. Whatever those drugs were, maybe they gave it to him too soon and it wore off too soon. I don't know, but that did not look like an individual that gave us a lot of confidence. And I'm not the only one. There was even people on the left, and I have some videos that I want to show you on that because I think the left is absolutely going insane on this one, which is kind of funny in itself because I love it when they go insane. But real quick, I did look on X, and there was this video, 20-second video, that if you want to know how the debate went, this is what the results were. Okay, for those of you who are listening to us, it was an eagle with President Trump on top of it, kind of doing his little celebratory thing. The eagle was flying down into the water, reaches in, grabs a fish, which was Joe Biden, carried him away. I thought that was pretty cool. That was pretty well done. President Trump, I thought, he was presidential. Of the two standing up there, he was the most presidential. And I know people out there hate President Trump. Fine, you're never going to say anything good about him. That's okay. You have your choice, and that's your opinion, and that's why we live in this great country that we have. But I really believe that President Trump was very strong. He did not talk over everybody. Granted, his microphone got turned off, but you could still hear them, because I know Joe Biden tried to say some things after the mic was off and everything, but you can still hear him. But he did not. He stood up there. He stood there with respect. Whether he did not have respect for the two hosts and President Biden, but he stood up there and I thought he did very well. Used what he did in his 4 years, right? You can't knock what he did. Well, I guess I shouldn't say you can't knock, because the Dems are trying to do that. But let's talk about the economy. Okay, because that was one of the things that they were discussing during this whole time. The economy doing this, the economy doing that. Well, folks, I get sick and tired when the left blames President Trump. They inherited the worst economy in the history of the United States. He was the worst president in the history of the United States. So many jobs lost. Folks, do you remember that it was COVID? Can anybody try to convince these liberals that before COVID hit, we were doing really well? We were actually doing to the point where, jobs were plentiful. Not only were jobs plentiful, but the hourly wages were coming up because competition. That's how to do it, folks. Not a mandate to say, okay, we're going to raise minimum wage to $20 an hour. No, you raise it to $20 an hour when you have their issues with. I'm sorry, I'm looking at some comments, but you have to cause competition. The businesses have to say, you know what, we got to get these best employees we can, so we got to raise prices. That's how to do it. But they keep blaming President Trump for the worst economy ever, and then crediting Biden when the economy starts turning around, not to where it should have been, but turning around, and now all these jobs come back and he's taking credit for it. I just, I don't know. I just sometimes I wonder what some people are thinking and why we can't just go back and look. But this is all they got, folks. They go back and they say the worst economy, and it was a bad economy. We know that. But let's say March of 2020. Let's go back before that. We were independent for energy. Oil was, drill baby drill. But guess what else was going on? They were still doing clean energy. They were still doing electric cars. They were still doing solar panels. They were still doing all of these green, and windmills were still going up all that time. But he gave it a choice. It's called competition, folks. You want to do this? Fine. You want to do that? Fine. And that's what you want to do. But, the economy was great under President Trump. And folks, it's horrible under Biden. I don't care what they try to tell people. I honestly don't. It is not good. Okay, so let's go to the border. And there was a comment made by President Biden. Both presidents said that the Border Patrol supports them. I don't remember ever hearing Border Patrol backing President Biden, but it's possible there might be one or two out there. But I want to show you this clip. And it's of Biden when he's talking about the Border Patrol supporting him. There's a little line in the middle of there so for those of you, I'll explain when you're listening, but for those of you watching, pay attention to the line where it's the comment from the actual Border Patrol. So here we go.
We significantly increased the number of asylum officers. By the way, the Border Patrol endorsed my position. In addition to that, we found ourselves in a situation where when he was president, he was taking separate.
Okay, now what it said is, to be clear, we have never and will never endorse President Biden. That was from the Border Patrol Union. They posted that. I can't believe he said it. I really can't, because I don't, obviously they don't support him. Their job is much, much, much more difficult, and they put them in dangerous situations trying to defend our border. And folks, let's face it, the border is a mess. We know it. Everybody knows it. He keeps denying it. He keeps saying now he's trying to do it, blaming Republicans on it. But we all know if he would have just left President Trump's bills and everything that he had in there, we would have been fine. But they bragged about removing him. They bragged about it. Come on in is what they said. So they came in. So I thought that was another interesting part to that, because he had no defense on the border. I mean, there was no defense. And when you see them, when I say him and then his Democrat cronies, they try to defend the border. But the way they defend it is always blaming Republicans because there's not enough money there. And which is funny in itself, because, this party is also the party of sending billions of dollars to the Ukraine, helping them build southern walls on the southern part of their Ukrainian border. But we can't build walls on our southern. It's just the hypocrisy in this administration and the liberalism, and we all know it. We all know it's there. Okay, and then another comment that I hope everybody else was upset with is what I was. The comment about Charlottesville. 2017 is when this happened, folks, and they're still bringing it up about how Trump said there's some good people within this. Basically lying about what he did and what he didn't do. Snopes, which is a left-leaning fact-checking group, folks, they are no fans of President Trump. They actually came back and said that they classified this as a false claim. But President Biden still is still pushing it. He did it at the debate. This has been proven, and his people who handle him. Why are you still putting this out there? So this is lying. This is misinformation, and it's downright ridiculous. It has been proven false by a number of different people, and it was the fact that Snopes did it. There you go. So we got that. So those were another issue. So we also talk about, again, when we have Republicans running for president, what is always the terms that we always hear used, right? We're racist. All right. We do not like women. We do not respect women. And another big one that's been coming all of a sudden is we're going to come after your Social Security and we're going to cut Medicare. Well, there was a story that I did briefly last week as we were running out of time, but I wanted to point this out. There was the drug rebate on the Medicare Part D. So to be clear, premiums are up more than 20% for more than 50 million Americans enrolled in the Medicare Part D. In 2025, it's estimated that premiums can go up another 50%. What could actually lower healthcare costs for seniors is if the federal government brings back the Trump rebate rule. In 2020, President Trump announced a policy that provided seniors a chance to capture the rebates that drug manufacturers pay back to pharmacy benefit managers for preferred placement on the insurer's drug formularies. The rebate was designed to help seniors with expensive medications. At the time, Trump proposed a concrete plan for helping those seniors, and the total savings could be billions and billions for them. President Biden let those lapse. He let them lapse, folks. And so now here he is talking about how President Trump's going to do this stuff, and he did it. Okay, he messed this up. He screwed it up. I cannot emphasize more about how this man has completely ruined the country. And we're heading down an even worse path if he wins the election again, folks. We cannot stress this enough. We've been talking about it since day one. We need to have it. The Supreme Court, this is just coming in, folks. The Supreme Court ruled Monday that Donald Trump may claim immunity from criminal prosecution for some of the actions he took in the waning days of his presidency. In a decision that will likely further delay a trial on the federal election supervision charges pending against him. So there's some full options. So folks, we do have, thank you, Seth, for that. We do have, sometimes that happens when something live comes on, when you're on live. I appreciate the listeners out there who are commenting, who are sending this stuff to me. Thank you very much. So I just want to say that President Trump is getting what we felt he should have been given all along, to some extent. I grant it, they shouldn't have complete immunity to where, if they kill somebody that, they'd be fine. There should be prosecuted and everything else. But with what they're trying to do to him, come on, folks, we know what they're doing. They're trying to imprison their political opponent, which, how many times do we have to hear that? So, okay, I've got a few things I want to show. First off, CNN did fact checking on Biden. I kid you not, folks. They did fact checks on Biden. And just hear it. It's kind of
right now as we speak, there is a deep, a wide, and a very aggressive panic in the Democratic Party. It started minutes into the debate, and it continues right now.
Sorry, that was the wrong one.
Some of them. He said he's the only president in a while who didn't have any troops dying anywhere in the world. Troops have, of course, died on his watch. He said he's put in a $15 per shot cap on insulin and Medicare. It's a $35 a month cap. He said it's a $200 cap on overall drug spending in Medicare. It's $2,000 a year. He said the border now has fewer crossings than when Trump was in office. That's generally not true. He said, or at least strongly suggested, unemployment was at 15% when he took office. It was actually 6.4. He said Trump wants to get rid of Social Security. Trump doesn't. He said billionaires pay 8.2% in taxes. It's much higher. He said Trump told Americans to inject bleach amid COVID. We know Trump made foolish comments about scientists studying disinfectant injection, but didn't frame it as advice to people. And Biden said the Border Patrol endorsed him. No, its union supported the border bill he'd supported, never endorsed him himself.
That was CNN, folks. CNN. I mean, they did their own fact checking and they proved that Biden was lying. It's amazing how they can get away with this, but it is what it is, and it's how they get through trying to explain how this presidency is good. I mean, you hear Nancy Pelosi going out there all over saying, "Oh, this is so great. He's doing a great job. It's just people aren't hearing it." Well, people aren't hearing it because they feel it. You go to the grocery store, you purchase everything is higher under this president. And it's annoying as heck that we continue to have to hear these liberals out there saying that everything is great. Let us try. It's like when we played that video of AOC coming out there saying we need to take America back. When did they lose it? I mean, it's how scary is this, folks, that they want to make things worse in this country. They want to make it worse. We have plant businesses closing all over this country, and some moving to China. And California's a mess, folks. And one of the governor there, Gavin Newsom, that's who some people want to be the Democrat candidate for president, coming to a country near you. I don't think any of us want what's going on in California. I really don't. But, Biden did it. And I thought President Trump stood there, and I thought he did well. I really did. The whole golfing thing. It was the question, if everybody remembers, the question was, how do you feel when people say that you're too old for the job? Both questions were being answered, and President Biden, I don't believe, answered it at all, hardly at all. Whereas President Trump said he was tested twice for cognitive, and he aced it. He was bragging about it, aced it. And then, folks, when he was talking about his golf game, winning his club championship, it was him saying that physically he's okay too. Okay, physically and mentally he is. And if you watch the guy he has no slowdown in him whatsoever. Okay, you can sit there and talk about his age all you want to. And Nancy Pelosi can sit there and saying that you can really see that he's going down mentally. Where? We're not seeing it anywhere. And it's great that he pointed that out, because physically and mentally he is as sharp as he is, and he can continue to move forward in what he needs to do. Whereas President Biden, we know that's not there. So the debate where they're talking, but remember when they were arguing about the golf game, when President Biden said that he could beat him, and then after a while, President Trump said, you know what, we need to debate. We need to talk about things that are important to the country, not whose golf game is better. But folks, before you get on him about, especially the left, before people get on him about golf, that's why he brought it up. He was just explaining that physically he's in great shape. He's mentally in great shape. He's going to move on. So we're looking forward to this, the rest of this campaign cycle, because now we're finding out that after the debate was over, Democrats are trying to go around, who can we get to put in here? What do we need to do? Well, folks, it's too late, I believe. And I think people have gone out there and say that it's kind of too late for them to put somebody in. Now, I'm going to get into that a little bit when we're done with this first segment about the debate, because there is an option, which I don't know if they're going to do it. Scares the heck out of me if they do try to do it, but it's out there, and this is absolutely what could happen later on down the road. So we now the one thing I do want to talk about is the troops dying. If anybody remembered, President Biden said no troops died under his watch. How disrespectful is that? I mean, this president we know he doesn't respect the military, and I'm going to get into what his Pentagon in the second half of the show, what the Pentagon deems as a national security risk. You're going to love that. But we have voters that reacted to him. There was these, controlling their controllers during the debate. You've seen them where it's actual as live as it's going to show who's ruling what, who's doing what. And when he brought this up, the Republicans and independents went down. I mean, it dropped down, and the Democrats came up. Democrats, you listen to what you're told on MSNBC, NPR, CNN, and all the and whatever Joe Biden tells you, this is what it is. But folks, Afghanistan, we lost 13 troops. Not to mention the troops that have died under his watch in training exercises. Was it his fault? No, not. But you need to acknowledge the fact that we have lost servicemen and women under this administration. So the fact that he said that nobody had died is kind of insulting to those who have lost their lives defending this country. And it's just, I'm glad people brought it up. I'm glad people discussed this, because he blamed Trump for killing a number of troops when he was in office, but no one died under his watch. I don't know what he meant by that. I have no idea. Maybe somebody can try to explain it. Maybe the left will try to bring it back, saying, well, what he meant is he's not having any wars. Folks, we have a situation where we could have a forefront war. And I can tell you, I don't think we have the personnel to keep up with it. And will the rest of the world help us with whatever's happening? Because the world is a mess. Now, as far as the debate goes, I don't believe they talked about foreign policy a whole lot. They did bring it up a little bit. The Ukraine, President Trump, Putin does not want President Trump as president. I know the left is telling me they do. I know they're sitting there saying, oh my God, they're in cahoots together and everything else. Hillary tried her little thing with the Steele dossier where that was proven wrong, and why that wasn't an insurrection. Somebody needs to help me understand that. But anyway, because that's what I think it was. I think she was trying to take back the election that we, take back the election. I won. And, but now anyway, it's just, that's Hillary for you, right? But when President Trump was in office, and I know some people are going to say, things happen, whatever. But when President Trump was in office, Israel and the Palestinians were living about as peacefully as they could. Okay, granted, they don't like each other. It's just the whole situation over there. But they were there and they were under control. Okay, Iran was not causing any trouble. They were, but not like what they are now. Russia did not invade the Ukraine at the time. Yes, China kept threatening that we're going to with Taiwan. That's always been there, but now it's close. Okay, so we know that these things are out there. President Biden is weak, and we show it on the national. I always love it when everybody tells me that, well, when President Trump was there, we were a mockery. They were making fun of us. I don't remember a whole lot of them making fun of us. I think what you do is, you may not like the United States of America, but under President Trump, you're going to respect the United States of America. We're the ones that come and help you. We're the ones that come and aid whenever something happens. Everybody reaches out. It's us. We are always there first. We're the ones giving the money. That's who we are. Ask the rest of the world under Joe Biden, do you feel that the United States has your back? And do you feel that if the United States has your back, we're going to be able to help you? I don't know. You tell me. I mean, my opinion is I can't see how they can. I mean, the world is a mess right now. Our country is a mess right now. All right, we have bills being passed. We have Pentagon officials talking about what is the national security risk when our open borders are here. Our economy is worse. The only people that are really succeeding in this country right now without any effort are illegals, getting the money, getting the room and board, while our own American citizens are being kicked out of their apartment complexes and illegals are coming in because there's more money involved in this thing. The world is a mess. The country is a mess. And this administration is the reason for it. So it is what it is, folks. We can sit there and argue about it all, but I think everything speaks for itself. President Trump, when he was president, people just were upset because he sent mean tweets out and somebody said something up to him. He got right back in him. Okay. He just did. That's who he is. But I want to show you some other videos here regarding the debate, mostly from after the debate. The post debate, and then I'll play a commercial and then we'll move on to the second part. But folks, CNN immediate poll right when it was over. I want you to pay attention to the numbers, and for those of you again listening, I'll tell you what they were.
Who won the debate? We asked debate watchers in our instant poll, and the answer is a resounding Donald Trump did. 67% of debate watchers in our poll say Donald Trump won the debate tonight. Joe Biden, 33% say he won the debate tonight. I mean, guys, at this point, I don't give a shit if they bring out Gavin Newsom or maybe Hillary Clinton or even Big Mike. Even Michelle Obama. Sorry, I don't know why I said Big Mike. Back to you, Jake.
Dale, if you're listening, Big Mike, you got to laugh at that one. I love that one because, that's what we kind of call Michelle Big Mike. It was funny. That was good. It was priceless. But 67-33, a CNN poll, folks. People like me, the Patriot Network podcasters, it's people not like us. Okay. Now I want to know who the 33% are, because let's face it, 33%, they saw him walk up to the stage and stand there for an hour. Okay, he wins. I'm sorry, that is what it is. Because nobody can sit there and tell me that they believe President Biden won this debate. That's embarrassing for somebody to sit there and say 33% of the poll said that he won the debate. Those are the people that hate President Trump, no matter what the guy says, no matter what the guy does. And it's ridiculous. But the Big Mike comment, I had to play that for Dale out there because that was, I don't know why I said that, but yeah, we know why you said it. But here we go. So we're going to have Dems in panic mode. Okay, so this is CNN after the fact. So again, pay attention to this.
Right now, as we speak, there is a deep, a wide, and a very aggressive panic in the Democratic Party. It started minutes into the debate, and it continues right now. It involves party strategists, it involves elected officials, it involves fundraisers. And they're having conversations about the president's performance, which they think was dismal, which they think will hurt other people down the party in the ticket, and they're having conversations about what they should do about it. Some of those conversations include, should we go to the White House and ask the president to step aside? Other of the conversations are about, should prominent Democrats go public with that call? Because they feel this debate was so terrible. They do say in moments in the debate later, the president got better and got his footing, but then at the end, even his closing statement was a little halting. The contrast between the two candidates.
You know, it's what I really like is they're being told by the administration, here's what you say. Here's what you say about President Biden. Here's what we want you to say about him. And so when it's on national television and people are watching, and we're seeing what everyone's been saying about this president, they're surprised. And now they're like, oh my God, what are we going to do? This is a bad look. This is so it goes into that whole count and whole effect of it. But so folks, I want to get into a commercial here real quick. We're going to do a commercial break. So if everybody, well, not everybody, but most people love the taste of coffee. Well, Smokin' Gun Coffee, and that's smoking, SMOKIN, Gun Coffee. I just purchased it last week, and the medium roast I like it. It's phenomenal. Tastes great. Nice flavor. The aroma who doesn't like the smell of coffee? But here's a commercial from Smokin' Gun Coffee.
Born in the coastal plains of South Texas, Smokin' Gun Coffee is founded by combat veterans that know exactly what a cup of coffee needs to taste like. Run by father and son, each coffee bean is perfected, roasted at 500 degrees, and cooled with a Gulf Coast breeze. Smokin' Gun Coffee hand makes and bags each ounce of coffee for maximum customer satisfaction. With every purchase, 10% goes back to organizations that help veterans and local communities. That's Texas made, one bag at a time. To find out more, go to www.smokingguncoffee.com.
SmokingGunCoffee.com, folks. And what's fun and what's new is they have what they call coffee clubs. So for those Two Guys One Coup fans out there, you go out to Smokin' Gun Coffee, you go up to the club, you go down, and you will get bags of coffee with our logo on it, upper right-hand corner for those of you watching. Join the club, you get coffee shipped to you. You choose it. You get coffee shipped I believe it's every 3 weeks. And they also put in some little options for you to buy some other coffees that they come out with. So they also put that in there. I joined it. I signed up, and I'm going to start getting my coffee. It tastes great. You'll enjoy it. So smokingguncoffee.com. Okay, so going back to finish up on these debates, we have one other video. Now, this is a little longer than what we normally like to play, but it is from MSNBC, and I think it's very important that we hear it because, again, another liberal network shocked at the performance of this president. Wow, who didn't see this coming?
I, too, was on the phone throughout much of the debate with Obama world people, with Democrats, with people who are political operatives, with campaign operatives. My phone really never stopped buzzing throughout. And the universal reaction was somewhere approaching panic. The people who were texting with me were very concerned about President Biden seeming extremely feeble, seeming extremely weak.
And there is a conversation happening inside Biden's circle, and certainly a much more frank conversation happening inside the Democratic coalition. And I think there will be stories of a lot of concern about the performance tonight. And I think when you say conversations happening, what do you mean? I think people are talking. I think the conversations range from whether he should be in this race tomorrow morning to what was wrong with him. I mean, he has a cold.
He didn't do well at all. he did not do well at all. And he looked, I'll give you the analysis, you kind of have the old man versus the con man. I can walk you through how I'm supposed to see it and say it, but I just want to speak from my heart. I love that guy. That's a good man. He loves his country. He's doing the best that he can. But he had a test to meet tonight to restore confidence of the country and of the base, and he failed to do that. And I think there's a lot of people who are going to want to see him consider taking a different course now. We're still far from our convention.
And minutes into the debate, and it continues right now. It involves party strategists, it involves elected officials, it involves fundraisers. And they're having conversations about the president's performance, which they think was dismal, which they think will hurt other people down the party in the ticket, and they're having conversations about what they should do about it. Some of those conversations include, should we go to the White House and ask the president to step aside? Other of the conversations are about, should prominent Democrats go public with that call? Because they feel this debate was so terrible. They do say in moments in the debate later, the president got better and got his footing, but then at the end, even his closing statement was a little.
When did he get his footing and get better? They have to try to do something, I guess. But you notice the panic mode now, and you notice what, oh my God, here we're going. But guys, all of you out there who listen to our show or all the other Patriot Network shows, we've been talking about his decline. I mean, we know he's not running. He hasn't been running this country. And there's debate on who is actually running it, but he's not. We know that. It's his administration, but he's not running a damn thing. And they're surprised now. And it's just funny how we sit back here and look at that. And now it shows that they are so biased. They are so anti-conservative movement, MAGA movement. They're so against that they listen to what the White House is telling them. Oh, this is all fake. These videos that they're showing of him getting lost and going over here and doing this stuff, that's all fake. They're just trying to make it look bad. It's not fake, folks. It's out there. And it was perfect example on the show how all these leftists are watching this and they're thinking, this man is not a well man. We've known it. Okay. It's funny when they try to act like, oh, this is a surprise to us. No, it is no surprise to you. It's just now you're being made to look like fools because you're being directed by this administration. You're being directed. This is what you say. This is what you do. And if you step out of line, we're going to call you out. And an example of that, I don't have the video, but an example of that is Nancy Pelosi went on an MSNBC show. And she was talking about the worst economy, the worst ever when President Biden took over from President Trump. And the host of the show said to Congresswoman Pelosi, but it was COVID. And Pelosi kind of stumbled around what the comment was. She was like, well, I'm not going to sit here and defend the president like you are. And the host said, I pretty much believe everybody knows that I'm not going to defend this president, but it was during COVID. And so even they know that you can sit there and you try to make this guy look bad. Every time they do, he gets more popular. It's a losing battle. Okay. It's a losing battle. You can't beat him on the topic. So you got to go out. You got to try to put him in jail. Okay. The issues are there. President Trump has been strong with the issues when he was in office. And President Trump did not pass any bills against transgender adults. He didn't. Now, if he does try to do something, it will probably be what we have been saying, leave the kids alone. Just leave them alone. Let them live life. Let's not stress them out at the age of 6 or stress them out at the age of 13 when they're going through puberty changes and you have these idiots out there saying, well, maybe your feelings of emotion are because maybe you're the opposite sex. Stop it. Okay. That's what we're trying to do. Okay. If you're an adult and you want to do that, I don't necessarily agree. I think you've got something more going on there, but if you want to pay for it and you want to do it, can't stop. But don't ask me to accept it. Okay. Just don't. And, but that's what's going on with this. This is where we're at in these campaigns. They're just trying to spin things. This is what they're concerned about, where we're concerned about the economy. We're concerned about the border. Okay. We have people coming in this country that are not going to be they're not nice people. Okay. They're not family. Okay. And then, of course, in the debate, one quick thing, the cage. How many times do we have to keep hearing about President Trump put kids in cages? Folks, for those of you who aren't aware of it, do you remember when this first happened? The cages were created, and the first images of kids going in these cages was in the Obama administration, not the Trump administration. Go back and look it up. Okay, I especially you liberals, I know it's kind of hard to go out and look at other things other than the people that tell you how to think. Maybe you should try thinking for yourself for once and move on from it. I don't know. Maybe that would be important, I guess. Buckeye McGrowan, thank you very much. I forgot about this. John Deere plant cutting jobs and moving them to Mexico. 100% correct on that one. And here's the smokingguncoffee.com link, folks. Try the coffee. It's great. You will love it. Okay, folks. So we're at that point now where we've talked about the debate. It is what it is. It's happened. President Trump obviously did what he needed to do above and beyond, because he was not the bully. He was not the, this and that. It's just fantastic. I thought he did a great job. Very impressed, very happy with what he did. So, okay, we're going to move now to, and I'm laughing because it's not funny, but it is kind of. Biden senior Pentagon official claims policies focused on non-binary identities essential for national security. You heard what I said, folks. Pentagon spokesperson officially claims policies focused on non-binary identities essential for national security. Folks, where's the one area that we don't want DEI anywhere, right? We don't want it because DEI didn't earn it. That's what we always say it stands for. Where do you not want DEI anywhere? Our military, right? Okay, how many great military servicemen did we lose during this mandate to get shots and they didn't want to get shots? How many great soldiers did we lose there? Okay, do you think if we ever have to go fight Al Qaeda again or Hamas or any of these terrorist groups that hate us, do you think they give a crap about calling these individuals by their proper pronouns? Or non-binary or the LGBTQI, the alphabet, whatever the heck you want to put that out there? No, they don't give a damn about it. And I don't want my service people thinking, oh, that guy's shooting at me, he didn't refer to me as a proper pronoun, or I'm non-binary. Stop. Our national security is at risk because of things like this. Okay, get DEI out of the military first, foremost. That should be the first thing we do. It has no place in it. Okay, we are 25% down in recruiting in the military. 25% down, folks. And you see what's going on in the world, right? You see China is just chomping at the bits on how we are. With President Biden as president. Oh yeah, this is going to be easier than we thought. Putin. I'm not worried about the United States. I'm not worried about that guy. 25% reduction. And I believe it's this. This is the reason why. Okay. Military is supposed to be strength. And I'm not saying gay people, please do not come back. I am not saying transgender or gay people who are in the military or people who are non-binary aren't patriots. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying that if you are concerned about somebody not using or misuse of pronouns when you're around, I think you have more important things to worry about when you're in the military. That's all I'm saying. Okay. I am not saying a gay person, because I guarantee you that there's military people out there that are in whatever, if it's special forces or the Marines or whatever, if you're serving next to a homosexual, you know who that person is and you trust that person, you don't care. Okay. Transgender, same thing. You don't care. But when they start getting concerned about, we need to, non-binary, that is a national security. No, it's not. The national security issues that we have in this country are caused because of DEI, because we are 25% down. And this is just now, these numbers will go up if President Biden stays in office. And I don't know if you guys remember MASH, but I don't want a whole bunch of corporal clingers being in our military. It's just not where it needs to go, and it's not what we need to do. But again, folks, our economy is going down. The world is on fire, but this is what they want to put. It is totally beyond me, and it just doesn't make any sense. But here we go. You just have to deal with it, and this is where we're at. So, okay, so we're going to move on to the border real quick before we do one other quick commercial. Elizabeth Warren spills the beans. Dems want path to citizenship for all migrants. Again, if you've been listening to our show, and I'm sure other shows out there, one of the reasons the border is so porous and open and they're letting them come in is they need a new voter base. They're losing the black vote. They're losing the Hispanic vote. They're losing the young vote. They're losing so they need another base. Well, folks, I don't know about you. I don't want somebody who's lived in this country for 3 years or less to decide who our president is, to decide what the policies in this country are going to be. When these individuals in this country, yes, some of them are working, but there's still a lot of them that are living on our dollars in hotels where people are, hotels where we did a story last time where hotels are being closed down. People had their reservations canceled because now it's being paid by the government to these hotel chain to let them stay there. We heard J.J. Carroll, who is going to come on our show next Monday. I'll talk more about that in the wrap up, but he's going to come on our show. He was in Chicago, and he said in South Chicago, he was talking to some people, and there were apartment complexes where if there was black people behind on their rent or for reasons for them to do so, they were evicting them because they got more money to bring illegals in. So, folks, when you hear that the biggest group of people that are being hurt by illegals are Black Americans, there's no lie. It's out there. And JJ will go over that next week when we talk about it. But Elizabeth Warren wants nationalization of them. They want them to be able to vote. I just can't. Whether you hear between 10, 20, 30 million, we hear is just whatever numbers you see. All I know is whatever the administration tells me, I don't believe it. Okay. So maybe double it or 1.5 more, maybe. But no matter what numbers you have, they came into this country illegally. There shouldn't be allowed to vote. I'm sorry. No, I'm not sorry for it. You should not be allowed to vote. But they want you to vote because they're losing their base. In a fair election, folks, this is a blowout. I mean, this is a landslide, not the Reagan over Mondale. Okay, not the 49-1. Okay, it's not that bad because you still have idiots like California that are still going to vote for Biden or whoever runs. So that's what we're looking at. I mean, it's in a true fair election, President Trump wins by a landslide. He does. I mean, he just does. But they need these illegals. And again, like Greg Stenstrom from the Parallel Election book, and we're going to try to have him on again. We had him on before, and Leah Hoops, you really need to meet these two. They've went through a lot. They won court case involving the election cheating in Pennsylvania. But they said they don't need their addresses because, in retrospect, it's illegal for illegals to go up and vote, right? They can't vote. They can get in trouble. They just need their names. They need their addresses for these mail-in ballots. That's all they need. So when we have them on, they'll go into a little bit more detail about that as we go in. And Dale and I will talk about it a little more as well leading up. But folks, got another commercial here for you. The Eco Washer. You've got to see this. This is something. If you get tired of using detergent or fabric softener or any kind of cleaning products in your house, watch this. This is kind of interesting.
Not believe, no detergent, no hot water, no fabric softener. Now you even threw away all the chemicals to clean your home. I don't need to buy sprays to cut through grease. I don't need to buy window cleaners. I don't need to buy carpet shampoo. I don't need to buy things to mop my floor. I don't need to buy things to take pesticide off my vegetables, fruits, and fish. Oh my gosh, where did this come from? I'll tell you where it came from. It came from hospitals. This is actually a photo of a huge commercial hospital laundry technology that cost in excess of $100,000 if you bought that whole thing, and it'll fill up your garage. That's how big it is. And what we've done with the advent of microelectronic technology, my team and I constantly use microtechnology just like your smartphone. The new EcoWasher SE is a chemical-free laundry and cleaning solution. Imagine, no more detergent, no more chemicals, saves you money, pays for itself, gives you a healthier life, and simplifies doing laundry. And now we're going to include 2 free Thunder Pure Safe Air Minis that purifies your home and sanitizes your surfaces like a thunderstorm in nature, eliminates all odors. Plus, you're receiving $100 off by using code podcast on the new EcoWasher SE. Let me remind you, 2 free Thunder Pure Safe Air Minis plus $100 off during this podcast. Podcast is your coupon code at Eco.
That's EcoWasher, folks. That it's a really cool product. And I'm going to thank you, Buckeye McGrowan, again. Here's the website for you to go to and visit that. Keyword podcast if you want to purchase it. It's a great product. I mean, it's because how many times oh crap, we're almost out of detergent. Oh man, or because it's happened to me. Going to do laundry, I can do 1 load. Oops. So this is a great product. Go out and look at it. Ecowasher.com. It's fantastic. Okay, so what we also talk about that we want to talk about the economy, right? I want to talk a little bit more about new data shows economy is slowing down even more than before, and I don't know about you, but that kind of scares me a little bit. The U.S. economy is showing signs of slowing down in the first half of 2024. We are seeing some consumer spending, the economy's main engine, right? I mean, that's what we do here, right? Isn't reviving as high. The government cut its estimate of first quarter spending growth to just 1.5% annually. Businesses are tapping the brakes on equipment purchases. Order and shipments of core capital goods, machinery and computers, took a dip in May. The job market is softening. More people are staying on unemployment benefits longer, hinting it's getting tougher to land a new gig. Home buyers are sitting on the sidelines with mortgage rates near 7%. Pending home sales hit their lowest point in over 2 decades. The trade deficit widened to a 2-year high of $100.6 billion in May. A stronger dollar isn't helping U.S. exporters. So, guys, these are key market figures that shows what our economy is doing, and it is doing crap. Okay, President Biden, we knew this was coming. I mean, we did. That's why they had to cheat in 2020. I don't care what anybody says. They cheated in 2020. There's evidence out there between 2,000 Mules, between the book and the issues that Greg Stenstrom and Leah Hoops have went through on the parallel election, and then other stuff we've been hearing about voter rolls and what's going on in Arizona, right? So we know they're trying to do stuff. We know they're trying to get there. We as Americans, we need to show up and vote, especially conservatives and Republicans. And these Republicans, never Trumpers, need to get over it. Get over yourself, get over the fact, and realize President Trump is the person that we need right now. He is. He's the person we need right now. If you think President Biden is better than President Trump, then you're not a Republican. Okay? You're not. You just flat are not. You're just not. Okay? Now, as we review, I want to review the Biden's shaky debate has allies bracing for a Trump return. So basically, a lot of our allies watch the debate. Okay. And I think they're preparing that President Trump is coming back. Japan and South Korea, among the closest U.S. allies in Asia, relations with Trump's administration were at times strained by his demands for more payments towards military assistance as well as trade tensions. But most of these nations know that a stronger America is stronger. Part of the debate, and I didn't bring this up then, but I'll bring it up now, was that NATO, President Trump was going to cut off NATO, money to NATO. Well, seemed to work, right? And his whole reasoning is we were paying for everything. I mean, we were literally paying for everything into this. No one else really was putting nearly as much as what we were. He put a stop to it. He goes, if you want the American money, you better start putting more money in. You better start doing more. And that's what they did. That's an example of what Japan, South Korea, and some of these other nations experienced under President Trump. They were used to things, you don't worry about it. We don't need your money. America will take care of it. Obama, Biden, we'll pay for everything. No, President Trump said not going to happen. You know, we Americans are tired of paying for all of this stuff, and we're not getting results. So that's what he did, and that's how it's done. So we have our allies out there. They're not going anywhere. Okay, they're not. But I know people hope so, but he's not going anywhere. And let's hope that this election cycle goes through and he wins. And down ballots as well. Okay, we have to get that Senate back, and we have to keep the House and get a larger majority in the House. And we need to just push it, folks, because these liberal policies are killing this country. And you see it. They don't care. They don't care what's going on. They're more concerned about their abortion bills. They're more concerned about their gun control. They're more concerned about all this other stuff. And we just want the economy fixed, right? And let's just leave us alone. We'll take care of ourselves. We'll figure it out, right? That's who conservatives are. But the Biden campaign sent out an email. This was good, folks. You got to hear this. Here's what it said. If you're like me, you're getting lots of texts or calls from folks about the state of the race after Thursday. Maybe it was your panicked aunt, your MAGA uncle, or self-important podcasters. That's us. Hey, Dale, you hear that? We're part of this group now. It's a tough position to be in, so I thought it might be helpful to send you a few responses. Folks, they're trying to paint this as it wasn't as bad as what we saw. It's like we're too stupid to see. We couldn't figure it out. That's how these people do with us. We're dumb. We don't know anything. Not just us. They're obviously their minions that follow them don't have a whole lot of intelligence either. But this was a game-changing debate in the sense that right now, as we speak, there is a deep, wide, and very aggressive panic in the Democratic Party. It started minutes into the debate, and it continues right now. CNN's John King said shortly after the debate was over. We showed you the video, right? It's all there. But folks, yes, we are going out there. We are saying some things. Podcasters, self-important podcasters. I like that. Hey, I think my word means something. Maybe something doesn't mean that way. Your MAGA uncle. I like this. Buckeye McGrowan is a MAGA aunt. Very good. God, I love the listeners that we have and the watchers. It's fantastic. It's really fun to have this constant comments, and we could go back and forth. So I like the live. It's kind of cool. Hope everybody else is enjoying it as well. Dale and I enjoy this, and we think coming on the Patriots Prayer Network. So I'm going to close it up. And first of all, thank everybody for watching. Thanks everybody for listening. It was just me, so hopefully I didn't do too bad, Dale. Hopefully you're out there. Hopefully you're safe and you're having a great time. I've got it covered. I'll do Wednesday's show. And so we'll go on from there, and hopefully we won't lose too many followers and listeners, because I guarantee you Dale is still sweating it out. So hopefully I did you proud, my friend. But it only gets better from here, because the more experience we get, the better we get, right? We move on from there. So I want to end it. We don't have our outro. So what I want to do is we do what we did the last time. And I think it's very important at this time, because it will be played again on Wednesday, because I will have kind of a July 4th themed show. I want to try to make it as patriotic as possible, because I still love this country. I still love it. It's a mess right now, but it's a mess because of the leaders of it. And those of us that were sitting in the working, going to our jobs, taking care of our families, raising our children, making sure we had everything that we needed for our family, taking care of ourselves, right? Sometimes we let things slip. All right. We didn't realize they were going to sneak this in. Who would have thought they would have snuck this into our schools with our kids and all that stuff? But now we're waking up, and now we're being vocal. That's what has to happen. People like us, people like our listeners, people like our viewers, we need to fight. We need to fight, not violently. So I don't want everybody going out crazy. We need to fight in terms of, we need to get the word out. We need to get out and vote. We just need to make sure that less than 1% of the population is not going to dictate what the rest of us live. It's just not going to happen. You may be able to threaten these businesses to do their scores that they got to get, fine, whatever. I don't like it. I don't agree with it. But if that's what you want to do, but folks, you have to understand out there, businesses, the more you do stuff like that, the more you're going to lose business. It's happening. It's happening all over the place. It's just, we don't want this crap thrown in our face. But Natasha Owens, again, Star Spangled Banner. I'm going to play it, and then I'll come back and we'll wrap up the show.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous height o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming. And the rockets rattling, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the hope of the
Folks, we can't apologize for being patriots. The Patriot Prayer Network, all of us, we're not going to apologize for being patriots. We're not going to apologize for loving this country, and we're going to fight for it. We're not going to stop. And Natasha Owens, that rendition of the national anthem gives me goosebumps every time. And you know, I hope you're not ever going to grow tired of hearing it, because we're going to play it quite a bit. Just to let people know that we still love this country. And like I said before, there's other countries. If you're liberal, if you're socialist, if you want to go live in another country, go up north. Go up north to Canada. There's a lot of European countries that can do that. There's only one country for the rest of us, and that's this country. And we can't give it up. We can't let it out without a fight, and we're not going to. We're going to keep putting this stuff out there. We're going to keep doing things like this. And so, folks, watch the Patriot Prayer Network. Go out to thepatriotprayer.com. Look at the listings of the personalities. Eddie and Maurice are working hard to add more. There will be more, and I could not be more proud to be a part of this group. We've been texting back and forth. I've met a lot of them. You know, they're just great patriots, and we had a really good time at the live debate show. And I'm going to enjoy working with them from here on forward. And I'm looking forward to the moment that we can have a Patriots Prayer Network, and then we go to a CPAC or Turning Point USA. And I know we have had our groups there, but as a group, as all of us, maybe some people showing up here, some people showing up there. I think it's very important because, folks, we this country, I know you hear it every year, this is the most important election, but we can't stress enough that this is literally the most important election ever. I mean, this is where we're at. So, folks, thank you for watching. Thank you for listening when you eventually listen when I get this uploaded. Again, thank you, Eddie. Thank you, Maurice. Thank you, everybody in the Patriot Network. Great to be part of this great family. Look forward to continuing our success in the future to keep building us up. But please join me on Wednesday, 10:30 Eastern time. It'll be by myself again, but Dale will be back next Monday. We are going to have former Border Patrol, but also expert, J.J. Carroll, and he's one of our favorites and one of the most watched from our show. So you got to watch it. He gives the detail from a person who's been there. Most importantly, though, he's working on a documentary. So we want to get an update on that. We want our new listeners and our new viewers to watch him. He's one fantastic individual. And then, of course, Wednesday, the based mother, who Elena Barbera, we were on her show. She's going to be on ours. She's going to talk about documentary she did. We're going to talk to her about her show, about what to expect, and then hopefully we're going to have more from the Patriot Network podcasters on. Alexandra, Seth, Nate, Eddie, and Maurice, get more people on the show so we can introduce them to you. And we would also like to be on their show and then introduce people to us, because we're all the same mind, but we come at it from a different angle. The shows are all different, but but they're the same, right? It's all based on patriotism and conservatism and just being who we are as Americans. Folks, again, thank you. Getting long-winded. Dale's probably thinking, okay, Jim, wrap it up. I can just see it right now. I can't, dude. Dale, again, be safe, have fun, miss you. Enjoy your vacation. It's well-deserved, and I look so forward to Monday when you're back, but I'll have one more show Wednesday. Thank you, everybody. Join us and enjoy. God bless America.